It's a very moody kind of game. It's very cinematic. It's very action movie, like dialed up to 10. I feel like we should be more dramatic when we talk this entire season. And even though we're making fart and cum jokes, we have to say it in a way.
Fart. Damn it, Carl, you're out of line.
You wouldn't last 3 days in Deepground.
Turn in your gun and materia. You're off the case, Vincent.
I think it's also extremely important to say, hey, we're the Every FNFF podcast. We did not really do that last week. We kind of just did like a cold dive back into the pod. It's been many months. It feels like lifetimes have happened. If you're joining us for the first time on this show...
very odd place to start.
I'm very confused as to why, because I think we're like one of the only like dozens of people who have actually played this game. So I can't imagine being like, damn, you know what? I really wish there was a podcast about Dirge of Cerberus Final Fantasy VII. Oh, perfect. But yeah, hopefully you're here from listening to other seasons. If you're here for the first time, welcome. Give us a 5-star review on iTunes.
Who are you?
I am Carl Germ of Carl Germ fame.
Oh my god.
Of the Germ fortune.
Yeah, of the generational wealth of the Germ family.
I am Curtis, also of the generational wealth of the Germ family.
I'm Alex. I'm just part of the Germ estate.
Alex is the reason we have a podcast and that we've lasted, what is this, the 5th season? Are we on season 5?
Season.
Damn,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Final Fantasy V. Here we are. Finally.
Just found out we were in season 5. Damn, that shit's crazy.
Well,
we talked a little bit about Dirge of Cerberus last week, about the first chapter, about the general mechanics that pretty much don't change for the rest of the game.
We still don't know what... We don't really know what Vincent's motivations are.
I think Vincent's motivations are that he's just a good homie, and that like Reeve is up to some shit, and then
Reeve gaslit him into helping out.
Yeah, and then Vincent's like, "Oh, you crazy old bastard! All right, let's go."
Now I want to challenge the statement that Vincent is a good homie, because I feel like everything that he's doing has been extremely begrudgingly. Like, I don't think he's like, my friends need me. Like, I think I'm a little...
like he doesn't really have anything to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
He likes drama, but doesn't really like to admit it.
I think that Vincent's motivation is that he was the character with the cleanest slate that they could do the most with without having to, like, do any kind of retconning. Optional character from Final Fantasy VII, so they're just like, fuck it. He kind of has a backstory that we left completely ambiguous. It's very evocative. You want to know more about it? Here, we're going to give you more. Maybe it'll
just that meme of like Rick from Rick and Morty with the sucker that just says, "Okay, you son of a bitch, I'm in." Like Reeve has things going on, and Vince is just like, "All right, let's go."
So, in talking about last week, I think we left off before a cutscene starts, where
we just wrapped up a chapter.
We just fought a helicopter. We
got our experience or gil, depending on how you choose to live your life.
Through power or money. Do you work for experience or do you work for honest pay?
Yeah.
The cold hard Gil.
Cold hard Gil just sounds like a cool version of Gil from from The Simpsons. The other thing we talk about way too much.
Old Gil.
Cold hard Gil.
But we open to a scene and there's we see the WRO taking cover and shooting at something in the rain at some other location that we assume is not calm because of the more industrial looking background, if I recall.
Yeah, that's right.
Either way, it's somewhere else. Maybe Edge.
I forgot.
Spoiler, it's Edge.
Yeah, it's Edge.
Because we did hear the very last thing that we heard in the chapter 1 is that Edge was under attack, right?
Right.
The town of Edge.
Yeah.
Which I completely forgot was a character from the last season that we did.
I was going to say, yeah,
it's been a long
Edge,
3 months. He came in very late to Final Fantasy IV.
But we see some WRO members taking cover. One guy's like, hey, toss me their clip, and his other buddy just gets voided out by a weird black hole smoke monster thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
By not really smoke monster, it's just more of like a ripple. It's mostly just a cool specular effect they did in PS2 that actually affects the subtitles too.
Does it really?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's just a shader that they slap on and it kind of fucks with everything on the screen.
It's pretty sick.
That's cool. But yeah, they're getting like horror movie like slasher movie picked off one by one by this like evil black void.
Mysterious force.
Yeah.
We're seeing different front lines making advances through like chain link fences and back alleys, but they are also getting kind of just voided out.
Yeah.
Impenetrable chain link fences, no less. You'd think being able to double jump would have you make relative ease over it, but no.
The WRO doesn't double jump, right?
No, I don't think they do.
It's a secret technique.
They have triple jump.
They've got the shine spark technique.
Yeah. But yeah, so eventually we kind of pivot over to this group of like 3 WRO members, right? And they're kind of like
they're advancing on like a warehouse or something.
Yeah, they're walking to a warehouse, and they like look up into the air, and it's very anime because there's like this lady sitting on like the rafters of the place or something, like where you would be if you were like 14 and you were like, I'm gonna look really cool when these people walk in. But
yeah, like what the sergeant or whatever, the general, I don't know the lead guy, I can't tell by the beret, but he looks like he's in charge, but he notices that there's a lot of people missing.
Right.
And looks up, and we hear a very kind of evil Russian accent laugh.
We hear fucking evil Gru Natasha voice or whatever. Like, oh, hello, Vincent the Valentine.
My name is Carla Marx.
Hey, yeah, Carla Marx.
Das Vidanya.
But yeah, so the WRO members are like startled by her. She introduces herself as Rosso the Crimson.
Who the hell are you?
Rosso the Crimson.
So like I get it, Azul the Cerulean, we have Rosso the Crimson, Blue the Blue, Red the Red. I get it. I see what they're doing. They said Hail Weiss. Weiss is white in German. I get it.
It's very close to other white stuff going on. But
yeah.
Either way, we are confirmed that these are Rosso is also part of the Sviets.
Yeah.
Which I guess is the color. I almost wanted to like it's probably like a Reservoir Dogs thing where everyone has like a code name in different colors, but they're all bilingual, so you have to say it in 2 different languages.
Since this is Final Fantasy, I'm rolling my eyes, but if this was Metal Gear Solid, I'd be like, oh, this is the tightest shit.
The thing about this game too, and this area, it looks extremely Metal Gear Solid.
It does.
I think that's kind of what they were going for, and for this, I've just fully given up on trying to like critique it and be like, this is too like over the top or too anime or too edgy. I'm just here for the ride, so I'm like, fuck yeah, dude.
Well, speaking of over the top in anime, her character design is incredibly over the top in anime.
Yeah, Nomura.
Her bangs that go to the side of her hair do this kind of weird, like a bat style, like kind of either a curl or like a spike thing going on.
I thought that she just had like wild sideburns. I was just like,
but she's in kind of a skimpy, kind of like Soul Calibur ass looking outfit.
Yeah. So the loop that her sideburns does. That was a very stupid sentence, but the way it loops, it kind of almost looks like the sickle of the Sickle and Hammer, which I'm wondering if that was.
Are you saying Rosso is based?
No, she is not.
I do like her character design. And actually, a lot of the character animations in this are very good, especially like I think they really kind of homed it in by this or X2. I don't know which came out first, but like. The facial animations are really good, and they come across really nice and sharp. Yeah. They really hold up.
I guess there's like...
I'm pretty sure this was after X2.
It feels like it. But
Final Fantasy X2, X-Men United.
But she's cool. It's kind of a combination of the Cyber kind of a 6 that the the Deepground have with the kind of blue stripes and kind of medieval Soul Calibur.
Yeah, her weapon's pretty Soul Calibur too.
All right, yeah, that she whips out her weird like crossbow sword.
Yeah,
it expands like a compound bow or something.
It looks at first glance, it kind of looks like the thing that like in the Yu-Gi-Oh universe they would like wear their dual deck.
Oh
or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is this thing? And then she kind of like points it forward, and it like has 2 blades slide out from the side, almost like looking like a bow and arrow.
Okay, yeah.
But she
like a scythe kind of thing or something like.
I think it's like.
I think it's a dual-sided blade. It's supposed to be. I mean,
I think it's called like the twin blade in Dark Souls games. But she like teleports behind the 3.
She teleports behind you. Nothing personal, kid.
Yeah, she teleports behind the 3 WRO members and slices. Like it looks like they should have just had their heads completely cut off. But
I was wondering if that's the like implication. They just can't do that.
Yeah, for as edgy and dark as this game is, I guess they drew a line there. So. Yeah. it
This
looks
is a
like it
T
should do
rating,
that,
yeah.
and they just like fall over dead.
I had to double check my disc, which
Yeah, it makes
teens
sense.
can't handle blood, but
Yeah,
they
the-
can handle lots of red.
This
Yeah, they
is-
had lots of like red cloud poofs and like particle
I didn't really
effects.
realize that, but that was like kind of a big thing in the movies. Is like you can't show blood if someone gets shot. Like at least it used to be this way. Like in like a lot of the James Bonds from like the 90s and onward, you can be people getting shot and just falling over dead, but there's like no pools of blood or anything. Pretty desensitized.
It's such a weird rule.
I know. I
That's
think her blade does this thing that actually I think is a really cool design. They did it later, I think, in Star Wars, where like you can be it folds so it's like a symmetrical two-bladed weapon, almost like an energy sword, but it can fold out longwise too, so you have two blades facing the same direction.
Sure.
that's pretty sick. This is essentially just a Bloodborne weapon where it has like when you hit the R1 button, it changes its form or whatever.
Oh, that's right.
It's the saw cleaver. You can use it just to hack away or make it like a halberd.
I've started playing Bloodborne.
Oh, it's so good.
It's good.
Wait, have you been playing the demake?
Not yet.
Okay. Well,
The
it's
real one.
good. I hope you're enjoying it.
She strikes down the WRO on one, at least what was left of it. The ones who didn't get yoinked out, assumingly decapitating them.
The mighty WRO. They wouldn't last a day in deep ground.
It wouldn't last a day in Deepground.
It would last
Pretty
a day
sick.
in my world.
Yeah,
Sounds
pretty fucking
like-
cool.
It sounds like she and her homies need to unionize if it's that bad.
Yeah, that's a good. You shouldn't be proud of that, Russell.
You need to improve the
You're-
workplace conditions a little.
You're sacrificing your hairstyle. I meant betraying, not sacrificing. Brain dump, y'all. Brain dump.
Meanwhile, back to Vincent and our homie Reeve, now in their cool camper.
Right. So this is actually the beginning of chapter 2 here. We get the little logo pops up and says chapter 2.
Just like Sonic Adventure 2, where it shows like swing.
Yeah, chapter 2, Showdown in the Wastes.
Yeah. I was like,
But we're-
cool, sewer level. Let's go. It's not a sewer level.
But we're on the truck from the end of the first chapter, right? Like the presumably armored truck that Reeve drives in and we fight behind. So we're now
It's a lot bigger than
driving.
I remember.
It's spacious. It's spacious.
Yeah, it's nice and roomy.
I think they name it, don't they? They have like a name for it.
They name it later. I think it's like the Shadow Wolf or something.
Yeah,
Shit.
Shadow Wolf.
Oh no, Shadow Fox.
Is that it? Oh yeah, Shadow Fox. Because I was like, oh, it is Metal Gear Solid.
I said Shadow Hog at first when you're on stream. The Shadow Hog.
That's in the uncut version of Sonic 2 Battle. You can see Shadow's hog.
Thank God. It's about time.
Have you guys noticed the new header image on our Twitter?
I have
I just
not.
put Shadow the Hedgehog.
Lordy. So
Yeah, we're on. It's just Reeve and Vincent having a meet, and they're kind of in their truck lab,
yeah.
secret truck lab,
Didn't the Ghostbusters have a truck lab?
If they didn't, they should have.
Well,
like a portable lab.
oh, what was the Ghostbusters van called?
I forgot the Ecto 1 or whatever.
Is that it?
It's
Yeah.
called the Dragula.
Ghostbusters.
Monster Coach?
The Ectomobile. Oh no, Ecto 1. You're right.
Ecto 1, okay, yeah. I was going to say, I was like, Ectomobile sounds dumb. I don't remember it being that dumb.
So they're driving around in Ecto 1. But yeah, like, so Vincent's still like confused from the events because again, like we were like talking about his motivations. He just likes shooting people, so he doesn't like know what the hell's going on right now.
I'm guessing he's just drifting.
Yeah. So we get like the exposition for that. We learned that these soldiers are called Deepground.
This whole exchange is a very Metal Gear Solid word. Like Reeve says something and Vincent says the last word.
Yeah. Deepground soldiers. Deepground.
Metal Gear.
Yes. The shadow of the Shinra Company, constructed by the former president, and completely hidden from the rest of the world.
Constructed.
Yeah. Former president, I suppose, meaning Rufus. and
No.
not-
No, I
No,
think
he
chose
goes on.
the-
I thought the same thing. I'm like, okay, we know a couple of the presidents in Shinra, but I think this is a pretty cool narrative device that they use where it's like, okay, well, we need to have a backstory for this organization that we're creating for the first time, like
Yeah,
a
right.
decade after this game came out. How can we do it? It's like, oh, that president who died pretty quickly and unexpectedly.
Oh yeah.
He made this and he never told anyone about it. Ooh. And I'm like, I'm fucking down with that. I'm like, I'm sold.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. Yeah, he says later in the conversation,
After the president's death, the transfer of power to his son was carried out so quickly I doubt Rufus was ever briefed on the project.
Oh, okay.
Curtis, it's pretty much the same exact thing that happened at your job where everyone just got kicked out of the system because a new company took over and flipped the switch overnight. Sephiroth killed your boss's boss, and that's why he doesn't know who he...
just fine.
This is the first step of them ruling with fear.
Yeah.
Unplug everything.
And he does tell him, he's like, his goal was to create an army of superhuman warriors, not once letting morality interfere. And I'm just like, oh, okay, so he's just making the evil. He made the bad guys.
Yeah.
He's like sitting there like creating them like, they're gonna be so bad.
That kind of ties into, people disappearing and stuff probably. Reeve mentions that the man you met earlier, Azul, is also a member of Deepground, but he belongs to an elite unit known as the Sviets. So to me, this means Deepground is the Shinra as Sviets are the Turks.
Yeah, I think so.
Turks of Deepground. They're just like the cool clubhouse.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then Vincent's like, yo, why weren't you told about this?
Yeah.
How come you didn't know?
Urban development, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says like, this isn't really my department. So
yeah.
He's making sure the trains run in time so the Shinra manager can be like, fuck, I hate taking the last train. Look at these weirdos here.
He says besides the president himself, the only person who would know would be Heidegger, Scarlet, and the head of biochemical research, Hojo.
Yeah.
I'm imagining Palmer and Reeve just like at the weird kid table at lunch.
Yeah. Reeve has to eat with Palmer. Yeah.
Just like it's all this butter.
He does say that like the way he found out about it was going through Scarlet's files and stuff like that. So I guess like we have to imagine after the meteor fall and everything, there is an amount of time of like Reeve and everybody just like picking up the pieces of Shinra and shit like that and looking at all this hidden shit that the other people had.
Grabbing all the hard drives.
Yeah.
And then Reeve shifts a little bit and like, have you heard of the mass disappearance that occurred recently in Junon?
I know that place.
Yeah, we know of Junon. And Vincent says, I remember the report saying that 20 or 30 people suddenly vanished. And Reeve's like, that's what they want you to think.
If the truth was leaked, they wouldn't be able to contain the inevitable panic. The actual number of people that went missing that day was 1,200.
It's a lot of people to just go missing, yeah.
God, can you imagine if there was like some crazy event that was happening that like the numbers are like almost incomprehensible, but like the people in charge were like, we're just not really going to talk about those numbers so much. We're just,
I don't know what you're talking
it was
about.
like 20.
Yeah, given the amount of just like pandemic deniability, this actually feels
this feels correct. Yeah,
no, exactly.
This definitely happened.
Like, well, that seems excessive, and then like, oh, actually,
yeah. Like I'm looking at 1,200, and like, God, that's such a small number of horrible things to happen.
Yeah, what are they crying
day.
about? 1,200,
like,
please.
God, yikes! We told you this.
You're doing rookie numbers.
It wouldn't last a day in my world.
Yeah. But yeah, so the WRO did an investigation trying to find where these 1,200 people who disappeared went off to. They couldn't find anything. And then he says the incredible line,
yes,
the people in Edge have been on edge. That's good writing right there.
It really should have been like a beat there, like he was waiting for like a joke.
Yeah.
They really should have either written that line differently or just named Edge something else, because it just seems like, I don't know. He should have said it earlier about like calm is now calm.
Yeah, calm is now calm, and the people in Edge are on the edge.
Yeah, he better fucking say that next time.
And then he also says, again, just wild shit. He just shifts again and says, they say night after night you can hear screams coming from the direction of Midgar. On this very night, 3 years ago.
Could it be the wind? Let me ask you, does the wind sound like 1,000 wailing souls?
1,000 wailing souls.
It's
very like, can you hear the planet crying?
I was
going to
hear
the cries of the planet, yeah.
Yeah.
That started playing in my head when I heard this.
Yeah.
But
have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? Do you believe in life after love, Snake?
But yeah, then we get a WRO member kind of comes over the intercom.
You actually do hear cries, so there's that.
We hear like I always call it like the FF6 wind sound that like is halfway scream and halfway like wind.
Or like Chrono Trigger wind. I feel like it's kind of similar.
Yep.
It's kind of just Halloween.
Yes. Vincent just has his record of spooky Halloween sounds just constantly playing around him.
But
Monster Mash.
Zumachrome. A WRO member says to them, Commissioner, a rogue transmission is being broadcast on all wavelengths.
It's the same WR member with the British accent from previous episode.
Oh.
Shop. I mean, at least the same voice.
Also on all wavelengths. Incredible.
Including the X-ray.
Yeah, the
and
visual light
infrared.
spectrum. Like you can't help but see it. Incredible.
Yeah, I can taste it.
I know a little bit about how radio works, and I'm not sure that's right.
Yeah. So we get like kind of a Max Headroom-esque like transmission, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of just like we see this guy who looks kind of like a white-haired Goku or something.
He looks like
white-haired long Goku, yeah. Long white-haired Goku.
Blue eyes white Goku.
This is for only
White
for
supremacist Goku. My least favorite Dragon Ball character.
Only for the true fans. He looks like Broly.
Yeah. He
With
looks
white hair.
like Slim Brawly, like before he goes legendary Super Saiyan.
Before he goes chunky mode.
Before he goes sicko
So we
mode.
haven't even meet the bed guy yet, and he already has his shirt off.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, Jesus
it's a
Christ.
throwback to the end of FF7.
And he's sitting in like a mechanical chair, like a very like technologically advanced throne, I guess.
It's like the Game of Thrones, except instead of swords, it's just lots of PVC pipe.
Yeah. And also the transmission itself keeps like jump cutting as he's talking, like to different parts of his face and body. So for him to do this transmission, he has to have like 10 cameras on him incredibly close. And he's not
like,
looking at any of them.
It's like a Brian David Gilbert video for Polygon where he just keeps pointing at all the different cameras and you're like keeping the editors on his toes. Or he's just like a streamer and he has like way too many buttons and webcams on his stream deck.
Yeah, and he just
like,
keeps smashing them as he's going.
There's just like 10 guys holding phones around him.
Because I don't think we get any like shots of him actually looking into the camera, but we do just get a shit ton of like cuts.
Yeah, I think it's just like the
Right.
first one where you kind of just see him sitting there. So you get like most of what he looks
It's
like.
kind of fuzzy. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the transmission from Maybe Titus at the end
Kind
of
of like the spheres. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
that
forgot about
mysterious
Maybe
sphere at the
Titus.
end of Eternal Calm.
I do like in the script that we're looking at right now, because we don't know his name yet, he is listed as Guy. Aren't we all
Yeah.
just a guy?
Thank you to Martin from Final Fantasy Worlds Apart for the script.
Let's go, Martin!
But yeah, this guy is sending a message out to, I guess, everyone.
Yeah.
Kind of like it's just a threat, right?
It's just a threat. He feels more confident that he'll be able to get away with it if everybody in the entire fucking world knows his evil plan. So
Yeah, and it sounds extremely anti-vaxxer of the plan too. It's got the same like energy as like unvaccinated sperm will be the next Bitcoin. Like that's the kind of the way I hear this, because he says at last the time has come to cleanse this world.
At last.
before we move on, is that a thing that somebody said?
I think it was a tweet, and
Okay.
so like any tweet, it was either a hilarious goof that people didn't realize, or it's just completely earnest and the dumbest thing you've ever heard. Yeah.
But yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he says, the pure will be spared for the cause, while the tainted will be hunted down and exterminated.
They shall be slashed, strangled, and slaughtered, beaten, stabbed, and crushed.
Garroted and impaled, shot and executed without mercy. And it's like...
And they really
you're
like...
just really, really laying it on thick, buddy.
Yeah. But smothered? No. We don't kill that way.
Cuddled and pampered.
Cuddled and pampered. Kissed and tucked in.
But that's it. That's the whole transmission. It doesn't really seem to like clarify anything.
Yeah, he's trying to cleanse the world, which is something that only good people ever want to do, especially when they use the word cleanse. Usually I got a good feeling about this guy.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of more of a zealous kind of vibe instead of like a normal transmission, which would usually be like a manifesto or like a demand. This is just like, yes, the time of cleansing has come.
I wonder if this is as...
It's kind of preaching.
He's kind of like the guy who's standing outside of the Dragon's Reach in Skyrim. You know, that guy.
Oh yeah, the end is nigh kind of thing, or what?
Who is that guy? Yeah, that guy. Y'all played Skyrim, right?
I did, but I'm trying to remember who you're talking about. Are you talking about the guy in the one town who's like...
praising the goddess?
Talking about Talos?
Heimskr. Y'all know who I'm talking about. All of y'all out there listening to this podcast, you know who I'm
real
talking about.
Skyrim heads know.
Real Skyrim.
Let us know in the comments below, you little Skyrim heads. Do you know who Curtis is talking about?
Heimskr.
Heimskr.
Oh yeah, the guy, this dude.
I'm wondering if this is as like over the top in the Japanese translation.
That's a good question.
Because it's
not
super
more so.
It's super on the nose. Where I don't know, maybe the developers or the writers or whatever were like, okay, well, we're trying to follow up like in the universe where the bad guy was Sephiroth. How do we make a villain that is like worth giving a shit and hating? And it's like, oh, let's just make him like every horrible.
He's the Joker.
Yeah,
He's the dang Joker.
Every one of the like historically worst people in the world. Let's just mix them all together, and that's him. And he just that's what he does.
He does look kind of like Sephiroth, but he's a little crazy.
Curtis, I have a confession to make.
All right.
I did not know who you were talking about in Skyrim when you talked about the location that he was at.
Yeah.
But as soon as I saw that picture, I was like, yeah, that's exactly who I thought he was talking about.
Yeah.
The one of 5 different variations of Skyrim characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I know exactly who you mean. And I thought you were being intentionally vague because I was like, oh, maybe he comes back in the end game with some importance or something. And I never actually had
Yeah, Heimskir comes back at the end game.
It turns out he is the titular Skyrim.
Yes, but that's the end of the transmission. They're
the
they're
remix edition.
Yeah, and almost immediately there's like a large rumbling, right? Like the truck kind of like shakes around, and they're like, "Holy shit, what is that?" And Reeve opens the back of the truck to look out and see what's happening, and like the second he does, one of those like dog creatures, like one of the ones that like Rufus
Dark Nation.
Dark Nation, yeah, one of the ones Rufus had, just jumps at him immediately, and he would be like it's pretty immediate. There's pretty fast action, but
yeah, it's probably not the real Reeve.
But Vincent is able to shoot it before it gets to the truck.
Yeah, and then it has a very cool action scene of Vincent just holding the gun, and he like flicks it, and a bunch of fucking shells just fly out of it.
Did we talk about this last time that Vincent's main gun has 3 barrels and shoots 3 shots at once?
The titular Cerberus.
It's badass. Yeah. Oh yeah, we did talk about that because we said
but the animation of the shells kind of coming out of the barrel is very nice, just kind of bouncing off his shoulder or whatever.
There's no denying it's cool.
Yeah,
it's
very cool.
Even though this is as hokey as it is, it's still pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. And
it's like guard hounds.
Yeah.
Reeve shouts.
I'll take care of your pet problem. Just keep driving.
Even though Reeve isn't the one driving, but
yeah, Reeve isn't the one driving. Also, it's a weird like I'm gonna kill your pets. Like
yeah.
Again, he's trying to be edgy, but
I guess content warning dog death.
There's a lot of training to become.
It's video game dog death. So like think of like Resident Evil 2 or any of the Souls series games or any dog you've had to fight in a game.
Vincent's about to kill so many dogs that by the end of this, he will be a United States police officer.
I was gonna say, oh my god. I'm glad you went there, so I didn't.
Speaking of police budgets, Reeve says Vincent used this, and out comes a fucking chain gun.
Speaking of police budgets, we're coming up to a bridge that has collapsed.
God damn it. Wow.
So topical for when we're recording it, which is several weeks out from when it will be released.
We can tell that Edge is somewhere on the other side of Pittsburgh from Calm.
But yeah, a fucking machine gun turret with a seat to like shoot it from emerges from the floor. And I was like thinking about it, and I was like, well, a chair is gonna be like 3 or 4 feet tall, right? Like it couldn't possibly fit underneath the vehicle. There's not 3 or 4 feet down there.
To be fair, the seat kind of unfolds, and the gun itself actually has to get mounted on separately.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a Swiss Army knife.
It's got the spork on it.
It just folds out like a little gunner seat. Very cool. I don't know why I didn't use this in Calm. And Vincent takes over, and we start a cool sequence where we have infinite ammo. So just hold down that fucking R1 button, baby.
Infinite ammo and terrible controls, because the stage mission is eradicate the guard hounds.
I am terrible at this minigame. I just want y'all to know.
Oh god, I was so bad at it. And I was like, well, I haven't played in like a week. So maybe I'm just not really used to the PlayStation 3 controller, maybe it's... And I'm like, no, this just fucking feels horrible.
I will say that
I thought about turning down the sensitivity, just like...
It's so easy to oversteer with it.
Yeah, with a thumbstick. Actually, I noticed that a lot, I think, when I was practicing playing the other day, because there's a tutorial stage, which I'll bring up later if we have. But yeah, like, the sensitivity is a little weird. We're basically out the back of the truck, we're seeing hordes of hounds coming through, basically like desert and desert cliffsides.
Yeah.
Very much like a rail shooter kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because they're jumping at us and we are trying not to get hit or hurt. And just try to take out as many as we can before the next little like shift in the gameplay, right?
Yeah, right. And I will say that this section does count toward your accuracy. So like my accuracy at the end of this is not good.
Especially if you're just holding down.
Yeah,
R1
exactly.
Like I was.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's kind of
you
hard
have
to hit 'em,
unlimited
too.
ammo, of course.
Yeah. It's kind of. I felt like it was kind of difficult. Like it's kind of tough to hit them. It's not difficult to get through because not that many of them even make attacks on the truck. Like there's only like 1 out of every 2 groups that will actually jump toward the truck. But like,
or towards Vincent. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
attack the truck. It's not like other mini games in different video games where like there's like the life of the truck or whatever. It's not like the crazy
Or the
motorcycle
motorcycle
game.
thing.
Yeah.
It's literally they just attack Vincent and his HP goes down.
right.
I wonder. I kind of want to go back and see if there's any special death animations because like.
Oh,
it would
for
be
getting
pretty
killed
funny
here.
to just see Vincent like holding down the trigger and then dying and it just like spraying everywhere.
Maybe the car just explodes or still. I don't know.
But this is like the first section of it, and there's 2 parts to this little rail shooter, right? That after we're complete with this section, Vincent jumps up on the roof of the van, and then we have like another shooter section, but instead of the machine gun, we're just using Cerberus or whatever gun you have with
And
him.
now we have full like 360 view because there's now mostly I think we're just fighting off hounds that jump onto the truck.
Yeah,
at Vincent.
we're kind of going through like a canyon, and so they're like running along the side of the canyon, and then sometimes there'll be like an overpass, or they'll just jump straight from the canyon walls and try to land on top of the van and then attack Vincent.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. I actually found this part was significantly easier because of that like reticle within a reticle kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's easier to shoot them.
It's pretty fun too. I'm watching back my gameplay of it, and at one point there was just like a dog heading towards me, and I just fire once, and it like just it got kind of like ragdoll physics, but like the PS2 era ragdoll physics. So it just was like very stiff and started doing some flips. It was pretty funny.
It was at this moment I realized that yes, the van is actually bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. 'Cause Vincent only has like 4 feet of like mobility left and right.
We could probably calculate exactly how long this thing is, given somewhere there's probably like Vincent's height. It's like not any longer than 2 Vincent lengths.
Hold on, I actually have this
Fucking imperial measurement system.
Vincent, he is what's 184 centimeters?
6'4". Just like me, it's 6'4".
It's just 6 foot.
Nice.
Oh,
well, I mean,
He's only 6 feet tall.
Only 6 feet tall and make me feel terrible.
Vincent has real 5'4" energy, in my opinion. But
Yeah, how much of that is boot? But yeah, so we do the second stage,
turbine blade.
or I say second half of this stage.
Yeah.
On the top of the van, and things aren't looking good because guess what? The bridge is out.
The bridge
As
is
we-
out. Oh,
The bridge
no.
has been destroyed because of lack of funding that went to Shinra instead.
Looks like we're gonna have to jump.
This is a hover truck. Also, it shouldn't be as rough of a ride as it seems.
Is it a hover truck?
Yeah, we realized
Oh,
because
yeah, it doesn't have any wheels. Damn, I didn't even notice that.
I didn't notice, yeah.
But yeah, as you mentioned during your stream, Curtis, it kind of we brace for impact, and the truck kind of almost takes off before it even reaches the gap.
Popping a wheelie.
We fired the nitrous on the bottom.
Yeah,
But yeah, we intend to jump the gap. The little canyon is coming up.
Reeve, you crazy motherfucker.
And there's a
Dukes of Hazzard.
super capital C cool moment that Vincent has where like he's grabbing onto the front of the what would you call that section of the van, like the compartment, like where everybody is actually
The cabin.
the cabin. Yeah, or he grabs to the back
caboose.
of the cabin, I guess.
Where does the engineer sit?
And that's how he's and so that's how he's gonna like make it over the canyon with the vehicle, right? Is by grabbing onto the cabin.
He's just holding on.
Yeah, he's just
on.
holding on.
And one of the hounds jumps after him like over top of the fucking canyon, and so he like lets go of the cabin, and in the intervening time between him like sliding down the rest of the vehicle, he shoots the fucking like guard hound, flips over, and then grabs the back of the van.
Yeah, he does
it's a cool crotch shot.
He does a cool like body whip move to the where I thought he was gonna kick the dog in the face, but of course he's got a cool ass gun. He's gonna use that. It's kind of the
reverse thing with Trinity shooting guns behind her as she jumps through a window backwards, right?
Yeah. Very cool. Also very Matrix because it's very much in bullet time kind of.
Vincent only knows bullets.
he just constantly lives in bullet time.
But we make the jump.
We make the jump.
We did it.
Well, sort of. Yeah, because the van crashes on the other end. So we did make the jump, but the van
crashes into
totaled.
a post that was at one point holding up the rest of the bridge, and then it starts to kind of careen forward and like whip around, and that's 2 whip counts for those keeping track at home that I said in the past 5 minutes. And it almost falls into like off of the cliff into the canyon, but luckily it kind of just stops with whatever friction a hover vehicle can have.
If you just turn off the engine, it'll just skid on the bottom, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Anyway,
it would be terrible for the vehicle.
Yeah, it's just undercarriage.
Anyway, yeah, so the vehicle's crashed. It's destroyed. They can't use it anymore to get to Edge, right? Yeah. Vincent asks if everybody's all right.
Earning some homie points. Reeve mentions that he's fine, but, you know, the engine's completely fucked, as you would imagine.
Yeah. But he wants Vincent to continue on to Edge. He's worried about the transmission that we just saw. And then he names the vehicle, and it says it's the Shadow Fox. It says, once I've repaired the Shadow Fox, I'll return to headquarters. And he says the WRO is already in Edge. Head over there, help them liberate the city.
Yeah, and Vincent says, I guess I have no choice, which is like...
I guess I'm in a video game.
I'm going to have to retract that homie point that I gave him just now, because like...
He's like a 3-year-old, like, you're trying to get it to put his shoes on.
Yeah, like...
He's just huffing and puffing the whole way.
Was it last chapter when he was like, oh, you fought alongside us, you got to help us and stuff, and he's like, I want nothing to do with it. It's like, dude, just fucking, like... I know Reeve and Kate Sith Ketchy fucking suck, but
it's like Alex was saying, it just seems like Vincent really doesn't have anything going on. So like, you know.
Yeah, like what the fuck else are you doing, dude? You moping in your goddamn room and calm as everyone's having a fucking blast?
He had a glass of wine. He's got to get back to that thing. It's not gonna be very good.
That's true.
No, they blew up that building, right?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Damn.
Many a bottle of wine from nowhere spells.
That's why Vincent is on this quest. He's just like
trying to find the perfect bottle of wine.
Speaking of wine, this may be a good time to take a break, right?
Yeah, I think
we might not even need to take a break here.
Honestly, that's the end of the chapter.
Almost, yeah.
We have 2 more fights.
Yeah, that's the end of the
right.
all the speaking parts of the chapter. Yeah, all right, let's do a break for old time's sake.
Oh yeah.
We'll see you in a bit. So we're on the edge of
we're 6 feet.
We're on
from
the edge of Edge. We're 6 feet from the edge, and we're a little on edge.
I'm about to break.
Of glory. Oh yeah.
We can make some U2 references while we're at it.
That's right. So interestingly, there's 2 Mako like rejuvenation points here.
Oh yeah, those little hot pads.
Yeah, there's like a very, very large area that we can kind of walk around before we walk into the canyon, and there's just nothing out here except for those like 2 healing spots, or those 2 Mako healing spots.
They're like they're like wireless chargers.
Yeah. Except I guess there is
to the right there is a memory capsule.
I was going to say, yeah.
If you do miss it, there's actually an opportunity to get it on the other side. Just it's a little bit of a longer shot.
Oh.
Is that the one that's under the truck?
Oh no, I didn't know there was one under the truck.
I didn't see one under the truck.
Okay, so I think I came back later. It was like after getting a key card, and I came back and found one under the truck, and I was like, I don't think this was here earlier because I was looking for them, but it might have been. So again, more stuff that I could have played through again and tried to figure out before coming on the podcast, but I did not.
But so one way can go right, see the memory capsule, see a cliff, see the river gorge or whatever, and to the left we can kind of go uphill, right?
Yeah, and uphill kind of goes in between some like outcroppings, so we're kind of surrounded on both sides by cliff faces.
Kind of a little ravine or something.
Yeah. And once we're in there, we are caught in an attack by more guard hounds.
The Grand Hound is there.
The Crimson Hound. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of cool. He's like a evil Red 13 looking.
Yeah. No, I actually I like his design.
He's got like a leather mask or something like that. So maybe they were trained for fighting, and they're just a wild pack or whatever.
And he's kind of like a little mini boss, I guess. Like he doesn't go down in like 1 or 2 shots, right? We actually have to like wail on him for a little bit.
Yeah, he kind of has the presentation of a boss, but is not a boss, or is an extremely easy boss.
Yeah.
We mainly just had to take out him, but you can also take out the other hounds around. That's actually where I got a Thunder Materia, one of them dropped.
Yes,
which is really nice. With like 1 or 2 hits of that was really helpful.
You equipped the Thunder Materia?
I mainly equipped it and used it on the Crimson Hound, because there's a few times where he will like kind of charge like a jump at you and jump straight at you from like plateau raised areas.
Yeah.
And you can kind of like just nail him right in the fucking face, which actually I've done a few times. It's pretty nice when you have some magic stored up.
Did we talk about what the materias were like thus far? Because I know that we have fire and thunder now, and it's kind of neat because like fire is like a long range single shot, right?
Yeah.
Like, it goes forever. It hits, it does a good bit of damage. That's about it.
Fireball.
Right? It's like a big fireball. But Thunder's cool because it's like short and does a shit ton of damage.
It also has a little bit of like a nice spread.
Yeah.
I think I actually missed a hound, but it still hit because it hit like a surface behind him or whatever.
Yeah,
so it has like a little bit of a field.
Yeah, it has a field.
I don't think I used Thunder at all. I equipped it, and then I was just like, I'll save this for later, and then never did.
Well, you know what? It was kind of like the limit breakers, right? Like, I was always like, oh, I should save these. But then with the amount that the game gives you, like, Mako refills and gives you limit breaker refills, I'm like, well, I really better just go ahead and use these, because, like, they give me the resources to replenish them pretty fast.
And especially towards the end of each chapter, it has the thing where it's like reclaimed Mako or whatever it is, and it's like I don't know if you can touch those pads while you're full up on Mako, so it's like you might as well use it. If you don't use it, you lose it.
That's how I feel about potions at this point, because like at this moment I can only carry 4 potions at a time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that changes at all, but like a few of these hounds were like dropping them, so I was like, I guess I'll just use some up just so I can pick these up.
I feel like it's a good choice whenever you see a item that's dropped that you don't have room for, to just use items to get them so you can pick them up.
Because potions don't do a lot for me at this point, because my HP has gone up so much that it's just like a little sliver here and there. So like I'm just gonna use it.
Yeah, agreed.
I have it. But it's not a big deal.
Yeah, he's not too bad. Once we kill the Crimson Hound, we get the card key to move to the next area. We're kind of blocked off. Keys. Yeah, he has the keys to the next area.
He keeps that MF thing on him.
And there's no like scenery. There's no little area we have to walk through or anything. We just walk immediately out of this little area and are just in the next mini boss fight again.
Well,
there is a cutscene.
We get a fake out.
Yeah, we have the weirdest cutscene where I was like, okay, this is where the phase 2 starts. This is where the boss fight happens. Where like the hound kind of like starts getting up after you killed him. And I think Vincent just does the same thing, right? Where he just like whips around and fires.
I think, does he punt him first?
Oh, let me see.
Like, shoot him like a fucking million times?
That's right. He kicks him up in the air and then shoots him a bunch.
Just like floating in air, just like doing a combo like in a Street Fighter, just like stuck there in the midair.
A very Devil May Cry.
It's very silly. Dead as fuck. But yeah, we go to the next area, which looks a little bit like it reminded me of the boss arena from when we fought Sanctuary Keeper in X.
Yeah, or I was gonna say that, or when we fought God, I was gonna call him Dr. Jekyll. What the fuck is his name? Seymour
Flux.
Seymour Flux.
Yeah, no, Dr. Jekyll, our favorite Final Fantasy villain.
Jiskel was his father. That was it. I was like,
you're thinking of Jiskel's monster.
Like, what? I'm thinking of Jiskel's monster. That's right. But yeah, it kind of looks like that area, except there's no snow.
We're ambushed by a bunch of skidoos.
I was gonna say, we stumbled right into the middle of Wave Race 64. It's like, oh shit.
With a much different soundtrack. Not quite as good.
Yeah.
But still pretty good.
But yeah, there's I think 4 of them?
Yeah, I think 4-ish Deepground soldiers on little hover bikes.
4+.
Yeah. They circle you, and then every once in a while they charge at you. So
what I think is very nice.
The thunder materia is pretty good on these guys.
Ooh,
I think
it is, because they're very fast, and like it's hard to get like a beat on them. So having the thunder materia kind of gives you it gives you some
forgiveness.
Yeah. But I do like that, like, they're supposed to be, like, circling you, but you can just walk outside of their circle, too. So, you can just be like, no, I don't feel like being in here. And then they're just, like, circling the middle area. And
See,
like,
that is what smart gamers do. I did not do that. I was just, like, very poorly aiming.
I kind of got to, like, the edge of the circle, so they were more or less in front of me instead of going by me.
That's what I had to do eventually to actually hit them, because I was too slow.
More or less coming towards you the whole time.
I almost died here. Like, yeah. Because there's not, I feel like, this isn't necessarily a criticism or anything, but I don't know that the game is incredibly good at letting you know what your HP is. Because, like, when you get hit, you don't see, like, damage numbers, right?
Yeah.
And, like, there's not a lot of contrast on the HP bar, so you wouldn't, like, see it normally. Because it's, like, red and brown, just like everything else in the game is. And so you don't really see it. And so, like, while I was fighting them, I just, at one point was like, you know, I've been falling down a lot. I haven't been, like, seeing any numbers pop up, but maybe I should check my HP. And I had, like, 2 HP, and I was like, oh, God!
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's been a couple of times where I've watched back my playthrough, and I've been at, like, 60 HP, and I'm just walking around, like, exploring, and I was like, oh my God, dude, I didn't even fucking realize. Did we say what this boss is called?
No.
They are called the Pegasus Riders.
The fucking gang.
Big Yu-Gi-Oh fans.
But yeah, I would say they're not too bad. I mean, really, it's just a matter of, like, hitting them before they hit you, because they do hit kind of hard.
Did you guys have any of them drive into you?
Oh yeah, probably every one of them, honestly.
Pretty fucking hilarious.
It's the thing with the camera design is like I didn't really know that they were like, because they're circling, you can't tell when one's about to, like, turn and charge at you.
Yeah.
Really. So they kind of constantly be keeping your camera moving, does kind of so you don't get caught off guard.
Right.
Yeah.
So I got hit once or twice, and then there was one guy I was trying to nail, and then I hit him with the thunder, like the killing blow, right as he was charging at me.
Nice.
Like, it sieged right into the next cutscene, which is very satisfying.
Yeah. What is the next cutscene?
It starts with just Vincent near, like, a stone wall, and one of the hoverbikes charging at him. He just shoots him as he zips by, and the guy just crashes in the wall and explodes and dies. And he does a cool cape flip.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Carl, are you keeping tabs of how many cool cape flips are in this game?
Oh, I am keeping tabs. I think initially I said if it's a cutscene one, I'm not going to count it, but I threw that out the window at that one because that one was extra cool. So far we're at 3 by my numbers. There might be give or take a couple. There might have been some in cutscenes before, but
all right, we got at least 3 cool cape flips thus far.
Yeah, and then Vincent continues on to Edge.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it, yeah.
We have successfully showed down in the wastes.
Yep.
Showdown and slowed down into the wastes.
Do you guys have your end score?
Oh, I do. Yeah, give me a second.
Yeah, while you guys are pulling yours up, I will give you mine. Targets destroyed, I got an A, which was a respectable 56. My accuracy was a whopping 8%.
Hey,
which in this level gives you a B.
I would like to say, Carl, I don't mean to make fun of your pitiful accuracy of 8%, but fucking Deadeye over here, me, just got a 9%. So
damn, dude, that's so good.
Get smoked.
Fuck.
I got 7%.
Well, you know, I wanted it to be especially immersive with my playthrough, so I had to get the accuracy of the best Final Fantasy game. So enjoy your 9, Curtis. That one's also pretty good.
How many targets did you get?
I got 56 destroyed.
Okay. I got 46, so not a lot of dogs. Okay, no, wait, there's 70 hounds, it turns out.
Yeah, I definitely missed a couple hounds in, like, the next thing. It's like, how many hounds you killed? And I was like, damn, you were keeping track of that?
Like,
it's kind of fucked.
Like, exactly half as many. 33 out of 70. Still a B.
I'm looking at the screenshot of my results screen, and I took this shot while I was streaming, because I've been streaming my playthroughs, and I forgot that this is the part where somebody new came to this stream and just kept typing haha fuck you in all caps. And so
I went to their page. They're just a 12-year-old. I was gonna ban them regardless.
Okay, and
they disappeared and they got bored.
The entire right side of my screen is just haha fuck you all the way down.
Damn, dude, you got fucking owned.
Until at the very bottom, it's just Alex says, "Hey, welcome in." So that rules.
Shout outs to Twitch chat.
Sometimes a nice first impression can go a long way.
You know what, Curtis? That's what you get for not playing the new Five Nights at Freddy's game, you fucking loser. It's my favorite FF.
But yeah, so I got 46 targets destroyed, 7%. I took 16,000 damage.
16,000?
Yeah.
1,600?
100, yes.
Okay, I was like,
he was here for a long time.
Damn, dude.
I was just farming potions.
Yeah, Alex is using cheats again.
Hey, if I could, I would.
Yeah, same.
No one's done it for this game yet.
I'll be the first.
Well, actually, there might be some. This might have been back in the Game Shark days. So I think the best I could do is just give myself a lot of items.
You know, I still didn't collect all the Mako. I thought I did.
Yeah, I got 75%. And I checked. I combed every
50.
Every area.
12 minutes. Yeah, it's a very short chapter.
9 minutes and 29 seconds to where I was like, surely that's not where this episode ends. And I played the entire next chapter. And then I was like, doesn't seem like we'll have a whole lot to talk about this episode. And then I realized I was like 2 chapters ahead. I was like, oh, shit.
But do we want to just bookend? Well, just since we're introduced to Rosso, we just want to...
Sure.
After we see Vincent kind of walk off to, assuming Edge on his own, like a little Lone Ranger, we cut back to Rosso back in the warehouse, echoing what Vice has said.
Fucking kissed and hugged and patted and poggers.
Sucked and fucked and cucked.
Slashed, strangled, and slaughtered. Beaten, stabbed, and crushed. Garroted and impaled. Shot and executed without mercy. Nicely said, Vice.
And she's just like kind of just vibing out and says, I wonder if this will be a little more amusing than last time. And then as we're like, the camera's pulling back, we just see like just tons of dead WRO around her. So other people have just been showing up and just getting picked off. But yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Now, I'd like to say that's where we'll pick up next week, but I think we have something else to talk about.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just to mention, because we mentioned, I mentioned briefly the Soviets are kind of like the Turks of this new organization. For the first time, I noticed that there's a tutorial menu in the startup screen. Have any of you tried this out yet?
I have not. I do have my PlayStation 3 right here. I can do it live on the pod, which would make for incredible radio.
It's actually a little tedious, but it's basically an actual tutorial, like, training thing. It's almost like the VR missions or whatever in, like, Metal Gear. Where it kind of teaches you the mechanics of the game, the camera movement and stuff. There's, like, a little droid that goes around on the floor. That you have like kind of track and is actually helping you like train like efficiency with the camera, which is actually kind of cool.
That's cool.
Oh, nice.
Like stay here and keep the robot in frame with like the right joystick. So it's like training people on like how to use like a third person shooter. But what's actually interesting is the setup is you see a door open and you're Vincent, but you're Vincent as a Turk.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's where that
cool.
picture is from. Okay.
But it's cool. Like there's like a little AI or something.
Verifying data. Access number GAI012. Good morning, Mr. Valentine.
But what's interesting, actually, this was found out kind of recently by shout out to Shadem, Dirge of Cerberus enthusiast from Sweden. What she says depends on what the clock of your system is. So she'll say either good evening, good day, or good morning.
Wow. That's cool.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
But it's just a nice little just tutorial stage, kind of getting you used to like all of the mechanics. Like first it just teaches you to run around interacting with items, then it teaches you how to use like the camera while shooting, and basically make sure you follow this robot while running and keeping them in frame. Then we're going through like a little corridor of like collecting items, how to use melee. Thing I didn't realize is that if you do a jump in a melee, you do like a kind of a spin kick that can knock people back.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah. But it's worth a playthrough if you're because we just dived in like, yeah, I know how shooters work. That's fine.
Well, sadly for people who are wanting to use Melee, Nintendo doesn't let you do tournaments of that anymore. They'll actually take them down.
Also, Nintendo doesn't let you listen to their music anymore.
Fuck you, Nintendo.
Shoutouts to Gilvasunner, a real one that won't be forgotten. The news just broke today that they have to shut down their YouTube channel because Nintendo fucking
really
sucks.
sucks.
Fuck you, Nintendo. That'll get them. Reggie's gonna listen to this and be like, "Damn, what have I done?"
It's really gone downhill since Reggie left.
Yeah.
The new Kirby game looks tight, but fuck you!
I also am very happy that you brought up the tutorial menu because it seems to have led me on a Google search to find yet another T-posing Vincent, which I am extremely excited about. They're all pretty good. This is Turk Vincent T-posing, and his gun is in his hand, but it's like a small little gun.
Turk Vincent.
T-posing Vincent.
There he is.
It's a good asset.
Sound. It's really funny because when you're playing this tutorial, you really realize just how fucking long Vincent's legs are because he doesn't have a cape on. And because it has the same skeleton and like movement and everything, but it's just a Turk model instead. And he has short hair, of course, and the red eyes, so you know it's him.
Please tweet at us at every FNFF with your favorite Vincent T pose.
Not to be confused with the Vincent A pose, which is also extremely good.
We will accept that as well.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess that'll do it for this week, right?
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Short
episode. A solid, however long this episode is, for a spectacular 9 minutes and 29 seconds of gameplay.
Yeah. That's like when I was playing through the chapter and I beat it in 7 minutes and 15 seconds, by the way.
This fucking guy, dude.
Oh man, 7 minutes. Is that enough for a podcast? And then I thought about any podcast we've ever done, and I was like, oh yeah, we'll get like a solid 2 or 3 hours out of this.
I mean, this is an hour. That's fine.
Yeah, it'll probably be shorter.
These episodes will vary. I'm fine with a short episode.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's tired of listening to our 2-hour episode from last week.
I cannot wait until people angrily message us talking about how they wish the episodes were longer. I'm like, I'm sorry. There's only so much gray background that I can talk about this season. The PS2 fucking brown that's everywhere.
Speaking of, I was playing with the texture settings in my emulator and turned off, like, because this game runs in interlace mode, so it has this kind of like little hazy effect on everything. So that means like every other line is rendered instead of every pixel being rendered at the same time.
Interesting.
To conserve resources. But it kind of gives it a really interesting kind of like fuzzy, soft look to it.
Yo, boundary break episode on Dirge of Cerberus when? Come on, she says, give the people what they want.
Shout out to Shadam, who's basically doing that. He found like the debug room where you can like and stuff
What?
like that.
Oh, hell yeah, that's
awesome.
even better. Fuck
That's
yeah.
sick.
I will like to check that out.
There's some cool stuff. But yeah, we'll be back next week with Silent Edge.
Yeah.
Silent Edge.
It is quite silent there.
You guys got anything going on?
If you want to sprinkle in a little Hounds of Love by Kate Bush, because I didn't actually make the reference this episode like I was sure I was going to, feel free. But no, I think the only thing is I'm going to be uploading my playthrough of this game to my YouTube channel. Probably be doing that around the same time the episodes air, if I remember to, or if there's any interest in it. I don't know. Find my YouTube and maybe you'll see me playing this game. You can get a solid 10-minute video of me saying dumb shit. Dumber than usual.
The only announcement I have is go into Wawa. Y'all want anything?
Yo, I'll take that brisket sandwich, actually. It's really pretty good.
I had it.
It is a solid pretty good.
It's currently past 4, and
Pasta.
for the last like year, Wawa has offered a dinner menu, and penne with marinara is on there, and I'm kind of feeling it.
It's the way to go.
Basta.
Basta.
I could go for some of that too, now that you mention it.
Have
Have you gotten the burger?
I have not.
No, me neither.
I'm
Maybe
too
I
afraid.
will. Maybe for the pod, for next week.
I'm afraid to do it because, like, I feel like there are 2 classifications of burgers, which are like delicious
and bad.
dog shit. Yeah. there's no like B or C ranking for hamburgers. It's like they fail or they're great.
Yeah,
and I'm afraid
it will
of
be
like
dog shit.
Wawa. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. It's after 4. The dinner menu's ready to go at Wawa.
Hamburgers are back on the
I don't know if
menu,
I'll do it
boys.
tonight. I don't know what I'm doing for dinner tonight, but before next episode, my research for the pod will be to once and for all get the news if the burger from Wawa is good or not.
Yeah, you've already done next week's homework, so you get to do extra credit.
Yeah, that's true. I'm
Yeah.
ahead of the curve for the first time in podcast history by accident.
I'm looking forward to that research. I'm looking forward to those answers.
Yeah, I was literally afraid that I didn't go far enough in the game because it felt like no time at all. And then I was like,
Yeah.
I'm on chapter 4. I'm pretty sure we're only doing chapter 2.
Speaking of convenience store food, our friend of the pod, Sweet Matter, did some really good fan art for us.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah, yes.
The so Cup Noodles did a Dissidia tie-in. design, and she did an amazing job photoshopping a Vincent Valentine flavor cup noodles.
Incredible.
With every FNFF on it.
Incredible.
It's very good, and
It's
I will
so good.
probably share that on Instagram with her blessing.
Yeah, she's the best. She is wonderful.
I legit want to do I told her we would do a Daddy's Day episode, so we can talk about Orin again.
So look forward to that.
We can just rank all our favorite dads of Final Fantasy.
Or
we should have done that early so we could have done it for Valentine's Day.
No, that's true.
Vincent Valentine's Day.
Vincent Valentine's Day. Yeah.
Which, speaking of, this episode drops 3 days before, and so
Ooh.
To those who celebrate, have a great Valentine's Day. To those who don't,
those who observe,
yeah. To those who observe, to those who don't, just make it Vincent Valentine's Day and play some Dirge of Cerberus,
yeah.
or better option, Final Fantasy VII OG.
Don't play the remake though.
Yeah,
That violates the spirit of Vincent Valentine's Day.
You can't. Yeah, no Vincent Valentine in there, but I mean, you can play the remake. It's fine.
Vice is there.
Surely
Vice is probably going to be in there. Yeah.
Has Vincent been in other easily accessible video game media?
That's a good question.
I would like to find this out before we sign off for the day.
Vincent Valentine game appearances. Who can get there first?
Games.
I know, we're like, scrolling.
I'm way behind, guys.
He's in Little Big Planet 2.
What?
As a costume. You can get the costume
Okay.
and dress up as Little Big Planet 2. So maybe we can remake Dirge of Cerberus in Little Big Planet 2.
Yeah, I just want to tell you all like which games it's okay to play on Vincent Valentine's Day.
So I do like that in my Google search, it just brings up the Wikipedia thing, and it just says in like the little blurb, age 27 physically in Final Fantasy VII, and then 30 physically in Dirge of Cerberus. I'm going to just start telling people I'm 32 years old physically.
Age is just a physicality.
All right. This is what you have to do. If you don't observe Valentine's Day and you want to observe Vincent Valentine's Day, you have to play a match of Air Guys God Bless the Ring.
He's a triple triad card.
He's a triple triad, so you can play FF14.
Oh, 14, nice.
So.
There's a Vincent outfit in Gunslinger Stratos 2. Did you already say that, Alex?
I said Little Big Planet 2.
Yeah, so Little Big Planet 2 and also Gunslinger Stratos 2, apparently.
Now I'm gonna look that up. Is like because
Dead Fantasy. What's that?
I should just remake. That was a fan made.
Oh, fan
project,
made.
I think.
Okay, cool.
If I still had a PS3, I would just remake Dirge of Cerberus and Little Big Planet 2. Like they remade like Final Fantasy VII and Little Big Planet 2.
Do you want to borrow
Very
one
good.
of mine? Do you need the backwards compatible one? Because I need that one, but
Yeah, I can just emulate like you did. He's also in Dissidia. You can go play Theorhythm, Final Fantasy Curtain Call.
yo, that game's so fucking good. If you have a round one near you, go there and play Theta Rhythm.
But he's also in Record Keeper, of course. He's in Mobius Final Fantasy, which I think got shut down. He has a cameo in World of Final Fantasy.
Oh, I love World of Final Fantasy.
And yeah, Dissidia, Opera, Omnia.
Those are the games that you're allowed to play on the 14th.
Yeah.
Do not fucking let me catch you playing another game on the 14th this year. If I find out that you're streaming and not playing a game with Vincent in it, ooh, I'm going to be so pissed.
Also, if you're noticing that there's significantly more vamping this season of the podcast, it's also on theme because Vincent is probably a vampire. So it's vamp season, baby.
I get it. That's wordplay. Okay, I'm done.
All right.
All right.
Riffing's over.
Alex, would you
Curtis
like
is like,
to,
I need my Wawa pasta, goddammit.
Alex, would you like to careen over the edge of a canyon, barely making it to the other side?
Yeah, I would love that. After we finish the repairing the podcast. Basically, just thank you to Masashi Uzi for this kind of cool music. Kind of cool. It's actually, yeah,
It's a really good
there's actually
soundtrack.
really good music in the soundtrack. Leave us a review on iTunes. If you are someone who still uses Spotify, leave us a review on Spotify if you wish. I do not.
I'm talking to you, Joe Rogan. Even if Neil Young tells you you're an asshole.
You can do it without giving Spotify money.
It's true. I should cancel my Spotify. You're right.
Go to Spotify, leave us a good review, leave Joe Rogan a bad review.
Ask Joe Rogan what Sephiroth smells like.
Find out Joe Rogan's home address. Do some other stuff with that information. Do not tell the cops that I told you to do it. It'll be funny.
Anyway, leave us a message at 530-MATERIAL or text us if you want all your great 2006 memories. You can find us at every FNFF on Twitter, Instagram, our Discord. You can find each of us on Twitch. I know Curtis has been working through Xenogears.
Xenogears, learning to speedrun Legend of Dragoon.
Carl, you're still
Constantly changing
practicing.
it up. Playing some Dark Souls, you know?
I'm trying to stream more, mostly with Goose.
Highly recommend. Follow Alex, get him affiliate. We need at least 4 goose emotes.
I love that like the goose saga continues on. Like if this is the first season that you've listened to, you may not know the goose saga, but if you're a long time listener,
we won't spoil it for you. You should go back and find the goose origins.
I think it was Final Fantasy 7.
I think it was 7. Yeah,
season.
because of Sid.
Yeah.
I'm very glad that didn't happen this season, because then you would have named her Shadow Fox.
But yeah, I've been just streaming with my goose and listening to music, hanging out.
Streaming with my goose out.
Sometimes I'm playing Splatoon or whatever I'm doing in a smaller window within it, but it's mostly goose. Let me ask you, does the pod sound like 1,000 wailing casts?
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.